everyone, it's Christina and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a different kind of video to share with you. We are going to be walking through my Erin Condren Jot Your Thought journal. This is my book journal, which I started this year in 2016, and I'm going to talk about why I started it. I'll flip through the journal and share my entries with you, and perhaps this will give you some inspiration if you're also a reader, or if you are looking for a way to use your Erin Condren Jot Your Thought journal. So I talk a lot about these journals in my recent Erin Condren haul, so I will link that on the screen for you right now. I was going to do more of an in-depth review of this journal in this video, but I did talk about it a lot in that video, so I will just refer you there. This journal is the gold metallic one, and it has the grid paper inside. So let's go ahead and just start walking through. The main reason that I started this book journal was to keep track of notes for my book reviews. I do non-spoiler book reviews on my blog, Adventures in Polishland, for every single book that I read, and I have a really bad memory. I forget the details of books really quickly, even if I absolutely love the book. So I wanted to make sure that I took detailed notes so that my reviews could be as accurate as possible for you guys. And I thought it would be really helpful to have it in a tangible format like this instead of online. So in the front here, I just wrote Christina's book journal. I have a little sticker from Oh Hello Stationery Co. And then I started the journal with my completed series since 2011. The reason I chose 2011 is because that's the year I joined Goodreads, which is a social media for book lovers. I always have the link to my Goodreads profile in the description box. But I do have an exception on that list, which is Harry Potter. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and obviously I read all the books when they first came out, but I've tried to reread the series twice since 2011, and I've read the first 4 books twice since then, but I haven't gotten farther than that. But this is going to be the year with Harry Potter and the Cursed Child coming out. That's a story for another day, but yes, I have all of my completed series here. There's only 11. And I've left myself a lot of room because I want to expand on that. But moving forward, the first entry is from 2015. This is my thoughts on the Percy Jackson series as a whole. I'm just laying my hand down here because there might be spoilers. So if you don't want to see spoilers, make sure you don't read anything I've actually written in this journal. But this was my first entry. I did a non-spoiler review of the whole Percy Jackson series on my blog, and I will link all of the blog posts I mentioned in the description box for you guys if you want to check them out. But this was the first entry, just my thoughts on Percy Jackson. As we move forward, I have my 2016 reading challenge. This is the Pop Sugar Book Challenge, and I, again, will have it linked for you guys if you want to join. There's basically 40 different categories, and you have to try to read a book from each category. So I wrote them all out, and I left a space in between so that every time I complete a challenge, I can just write in the book there. And it's been going really well so far. And one thing that you'll notice is that I move forward in my book journal without really any organization. I just work in chronological order for everything. So that will make sense as we go along. I have my thoughts on Armada by Ernest Cline. You'll see that my book review notes take up the bulk of this journal. I also take part in a lot of readathons. I watch so many booktube videos. If you have any booktubers you recommend, leave them in the comments for me because I'm always up for checking out more booktubers. But they do a lot of readathons, and I love readathons. So I wrote down a readathon TBR for TBR Takedown. Then my book review notes continue, and they continue. And basically what I do when I write notes for a book review is I just write bullet notes. Sometimes I write thoughts as I'm reading, as I did with Tamara Weber's Easy. And then at the end, I write down my star rating. I usually write what I loved about the book and what I didn't like, just as talking points. Okay, now we're getting into something different. So this shows you how I just write things in as I think of them. I've decided to give myself book buying rules for 2016, and I wrote them in my book journal, obviously. And I've decided that I can only buy a book if I need it to continue on with a series I've already started. if I've read 10 physical books from my TBR shelf. I'm really focused on physical books right now. I do like ebooks, but I haven't been in the mood for them lately. And I also have a project going. I've only read one book so far, but I'm trying to read all of Stephen King's work in publishing order. So I started with Carrie, and I'm going to be moving on to Salem's Lot as soon as I find myself a copy. And then I'm writing down all of the books that I purchased and how much I spent, just so I can have an idea of how much I'm actually spending on books and how much I purchased myself. So I read Easy by Tamara Weber this year, and I bought the next 2 books in the series because that goes along with this rule, and I spent $9. I did buy them on eBay just because they were so affordable, but yeah, that's how that's going. So most of this is my book review notes, but anything that's book related, I write in here too. I really love the paper quality of this journal. It's really sturdy. Okay, let's take a look at my January reading stats. I've decided that I did want to catalog some things this year. Usually I just follow the Goodreads book challenge, but I thought it would be cool to see what kinds of books that I'm reading. So at the end of every month, I'm writing down the number of books that I read, the pages that I read in total, then the average page count per book, the average pages read per day. Then I'm looking at genre as well. I'm looking at genre in 2 different ways. First, I'm looking at it in terms of the age group from which I'm reading. So I read very diversely, or at least I try to read diversely. So I read adult, young adult, middle grade books. Also new adult is a new genre for me. And then I tried to read from a variety of topics as well. So in January, I read 1 science fiction, 4 contemporaries, 1 mystery, and 1 nonfiction. I'm also keeping track of book format and my star ratings. So that's something I'm going to be doing at the end of every month. You can see that I am taking part in another readathon. And as we continue, I have just more book review notes. And this one I have a lot of notes on. And that's it so far. So I know I just slipped through my journal rather quickly. If you have questions on anything, just leave them for me in the comments, but I hope you found this video helpful. Definitely let me know if you're a reader. I would love to meet fellow readers in the planning community. So if you also use an Erin Condren Jot Your Thought journal, let me know how you use it in the comments below. I still have another journal that is blank right now that I am excited to use for another purpose. If you're a book journaler as well, let me know how you do that. I love talking with you guys, and I'm always inspired when you share your thoughts with me. If you're not a member of the Polishland family yet, definitely hit that subscribe button down below. I make new videos every Tuesday and Saturday. This is primarily a planner channel, but an Erin Condren journal is definitely in the planner genre, so I think it made perfect sense to talk about that today. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!